Welcome to another edition of Azure Every Day. My name is Leslie Andrews, and I'm a Senior Consultant at 3Cloud. I am a speaker and a certified data engineer, and I'm here to talk about Azure Data Factory. Today's topic is Data Factory 101, an introduction to what Data Factory is, how it works, and a brief demo on how to create and access the platform. So what is Data Factory? The best definition I found is from the Cloud Academy, a cloud-based data integration service that allows you to create data-driven workflows in the cloud for orchestrating and automating data movement and data transformation. Now let's talk about how it works. There are several key components in the Data Factory. Pipelines, which are made up of activities. There are three types of activities: movement, or the copy activity; transformation activities, including Azure Functions, HD Insight, Stored Procedures, Spark, and Databricks; and the control activities, for each loops, if condition branching, wait times, and validations. Then there are the data sets that represent the inputs and the outputs of the activities. Linked services are the connection strings and authentication to all the types of sources for the data sets. Data flows are the results of the data sets, where you can apply logic and transform the data. Mapping data flows are more graphical with drag and drop functionality, while wrangling data flows are more like using Power Query and M. And finally, the integration runtime, which allows you to do data integration across different network environments. There are three types of runtime: Azure, self-hosted, and Azure SSIS. And depending on where the data is that you need to copy will determine which of the three is appropriate for use case. Now I'm going to do a quick demo on how you create and access the Azure Data Factory. We begin by navigating to portal.azure.com and signing in. We will select the Create a Resource option, and under the Integration section, we can select Data Factory. Once that opens, we can select our resource group, give it a name, Data Factory is integrated with Git, and you can configure a repository in Azure DevOps or GitHub. But for this demo, we will select the Configure Git later. I don't have any managed identity, so this section is blank. Encryption is enabled by default, but you can supply keys using Azure Key Vault. Networking is where the runtime integration configuration is done. We are going to enable the managed virtual network on the default runtime, and we're going to use a public endpoint. When we go to the Review and Create, once it passes the validation, we can select the Create button. Once our deployment is complete, we can select our Data Factory and then select the Author and Monitor in order to actually open up the Data Factory service. Once Data Factory opens, you can select the pencil to author and create pipelines, data sets, and data flows. You can manage by creating linked services, which again are the connection strings required to connect to any of the services that you can get data to and from. Here are some of the objects and services that you can select as one of your linked services. When you select one of those services, you're given options on your authentication type, your username, and your password. And that's true on all of the services. Thank you for joining me today for Azure Data Factory 101. If you would like to discuss this topic or have any questions on Azure, please reach out and someone will be happy to discuss it further with you. Thank you.